This story comes from the National Journal. Lookalike sites funnel big money to mystery pack. Written by Shane Goldmacher, this September 10th this year. You are about to hear the dweeb go the fuck off. Noam Neusner, a former White House speechwriter for President G.W. Bush, thought he had given $250 to Ohio GOP Senate candidate Josh Mandel. Cheap bastard. He hadn't. Instead, Neusner was one of nearly 3,000 donors who stumbled onto a network of lookalike campaign websites that have netted more than $570,000 this year in what some are calling a sophisticated political phishing scheme. The websites have the trappings of official campaign pages, smiling candidate photos, of course, and videos, issue pages, and a large red donate button at the top. Except the proceeds from the shadow sites go not to the candidates pictured, but to an obscure conservative group run by an Arizona activist. Such doppelganger sites, and if you don't know what a doppelganger is, I suggest you Google it or go to Webster's. Such doppelganger sites exist for nearly 36 prominent GOP figures, including presidential nominee Mitt Romney, House Speaker John Boehner, House Majority Leader Eric Cantor, and donation magnates such as Representatives Michelle Bachmann of Minnesota, and Alan West of Florida. Peter Pazzi, who specializes in digital GOP fundraising, said the group is exploiting donors. The intent is to trade on someone else's name for your benefit, he said. Republican officials are concerned that the group, the Coalition of Americans for Political Equality PAC, is siphoning away money from needy GOP candidates while duping donors. Alright, this is where we're going to stop. I'll go on with the story, but I'm going to back up. I'm going to reread this just so you grasp what this is trying to say. Republican officials are concerned that the group, the Coalition of Americans for Political Equality, PAC, is siphoning away money from needy, and that's spelled N-E-E-D-Y, as in poor and destitute, GOP candidates while duping donors. Now, if there are, 2, 3 of you out there who actually believe that there is such a thing as a needy GOP candidate, then you need to smell the coffee burning on the stove. Quote, the only thing they are doing is lining their pockets, oh gee, that never happens, and funding their own operation, said Chris LaCivita, a strategist for West, whose campaign lawyers recently filed a complaint against Cape PAC with the Federal Election Commission. A critical, unanswered question is who, if anyone, is profiting from the enterprise. More than $250,000 of the group's spending, nearly half, has gone to 2 companies with limited paper trails, neither of which has been hired by any other federal campaign in the last 2 years. Federal records show. Well, they're willing to show that record. They're not willing to show guns for drugs, are they? KPAC chairman Jeff Lloyd, a former county GOP chairman in Arizona, declined an interview about the group. He said in an emailed statement, quote, our candidate websites, videos, and get out the vote messages clearly state who we are and our mission. If a donor inadvertently gives to KPAC and requests a refund, we immediately comply, Lloyd said. These instances have been few and far between. Parenthetical, we are unaware of any issue that remains unresolved. Now, KPAC's model is to buy Google ads, about $290,000 worth, as of the end of June, to promote its network of candidate sites whenever people search for prominent GOP officials. A search for, quote, Mitt Romney, unquote, for instance, often leads to 2 sponsored results, Romney's official site and KPAC's Mitt Romney in 2012.com. Once on a KPAC site, users would have to notice fine print at either the top or bottom of the page revealing that they were not on the official page of their favorite politician. A dozen donors, including some experienced Washington hands, such as Neusner, had no idea they had contributed to the group before National Journal Daily contacted them. Makes you wonder who's in charge. Quote, clearly, it's deceptive and it's wrong, and it's hurting good Republican conservative candidates, Neusner said. He has since asked for a refund, which he said the group is processing. Throwing good money after bad? It is impossible to tell how many of the almost 3,000 people who have given to the KPAC have done so mistakenly. KPAC said it has a 100% refund policy when donors ask. It issued more than $50,000 in refunds in the second quarter. For those of you keeping track, the second quarter runs from roughly March through June. This is September. That's a time check. Quote, I've been swindled, said one D.C. veteran who spoke on condition of anonymity because the donor's job includes directing campaign contributions. Quote, I was under the impression that I was giving to the Romney campaign. I'm certainly going to be asking for my money back, unquote. And that comes from a D.C. veteran directing campaign contributions. Once again, who the fuck is in charge? The donor noted that if seasoned political professionals are being fooled, then many more lay donors are likely giving in error. You think? It confused me, and I do this for a living, said Patrick Raffagnello, a Washington lobbyist with 2 decades experience whose bookkeeper gave $2,250 to KPAC thinking it was going to Representative Dave Camp of Michigan. Raffagnello thought his bookkeeper errantly gave to Camp's PAC, not directly to his reelection campaign as Raffagnello had intended, and he sought a refund. He did not know until contacted by National Journal Daily where his money really went. And I think that's pretty much what we all know. Quote, that's pretty sophisticated fishing, he said. It looks official. It looks as good as anything. I'm glad I got my money back. Unquote. KPAC's network of microsites does not appear to break election law. The group discloses itself as the operator on every page. But, quote, just because it's legal doesn't make it right, said Pazzi. Where have we heard that before? The group first made waves in March when it brought search ads for GOP Senator Scott Brown of Massachusetts. Brown and his Democratic opponent, Elizabeth Warren, had pledged to swear off outside advertising. Warren said the KPAC ads violated their agreement and Brown paid a fine for not honoring the pledge. Anytime you put a distance between Republicans and their money, you will see a story just like this. Oh my God.